Okay, got a few flames done today. I'll have some music on that little video. So I have here a silhouette of Mr. E.P. I think all you know who that is. I've done this in a long time. I don't know how it's going to look, but we'll try it out. It may not look too good. It's hard to kind of hard to see under here. I did a big old 4x, a 3x4, yeah, painting about 10 years ago of this. It was pretty good size. It is pretty, did a lot of abstract stuff on it. That's what he wanted. And one of my shop owners, body shop owners, he likes art. He saw this and he said, man, my kids love Elvis, their stepsons, and so he bought it from me. And I didn't really expect to sell it. I was actually showing a picture of it. He said, man, I'll take that. And he's been kind of one of my supporters in art. My art. I don't have that many, but the ones I do have appreciated me and paid me a few dollars for my art. And so funny thing was, I had a piece of plywood. I used it to roll my handicap scooter up in my custom wagon that I had several years ago in the back. And what I had done, I painted it and did some crazy old graphics on it, some striping, and I used it to put my scooter up inside the car, roll it up. Anyway, I mean, you know, I'd go to a shop and stripe repairs on vehicles that had paint on stripes. I know he saw that. I know he had seen that old board laying in there, you know, when I take it out. Anyway, he saw that in there one day. He said, man, what is that? I said, that's my ramp for my scooter. He goes, oh man. And I had both sides painted. He goes, man, I'll buy you that. I'll give you $500 for that right now. Sold. And all it was a $6 board. But you know, it had art on it, and he likes my art. So I think if I would have tried to sell it, probably couldn't have got 20 bucks for it. But my buddy Joe, pretty cool. He hung that, and he had a new addition to his body shop, and he hung it up in the ceiling so people could see it. That's the funny thing about art. People see art and they appreciate it, but man, it's just weird. My cousin, who's in Houston, and he deals, you know, he's one of these huge developers. Developed these hundreds of millions, even in the billions of dollars of property development, commercial buildings, offices. I mean, we're talking humongous buildings. Anyway, he wanted to get me down in Houston with some of my abstract stuff, and I don't know, man, I just couldn't. You know, he wanted to do a one-man show and all that. I'm just not into that. I mean, there's really no guarantees. I mean, talk about embarrassing. I mean, I embarrass myself enough trying to do this stuff. But anyway, he was doing a large project northeast of Houston about 5 years ago, and he wanted 100 pieces. And he wanted to do it on commission. I said, man, I can't do that. I said, if you want to buy them and put them in there and just make your own money, that's fine, but I'm not going to do it on commission. Well, it's a good thing I didn't do it, because the deal fell through when that 2015 offshore oil moratorium that Mr. President O initiated, killed a bunch of the oil business, and a lot of his customers were oil men, as as were mine. So let's see. Well, let's do this with the big. So anyway, he got back on his feet, of course. Oh. And he wanted me to do some more, and I said, "Man, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it." So he wants this, but he wants, you know, he's the type of guy, he wants to tell me how to do it. I'm not gonna do that. You know, my story has always been, when people try to tell you how to do your art, you know, Van Gogh and Pollock and all those guys, you know, $100 million for their painting, and nobody told them what to do. And no, I'm not them, but they weren't them either until somebody paid 20, 40, $100 million for their paintings. They're nobody. They're nobody until somebody buys their paintings. It's a sad fact. Because this thing here, I mean, if you just do it for yourself like I'm doing, you know, my YouTube, hopefully my YouTube subscribers and visitors, it's okay. Because nowadays we have all kinds of avenues to make a dollar with. Not the old ways like when I started out, where you had to go out here and spend money to market yourself. Nowadays, you know, to market yourself, all you have to do is go on social media, do your thing, and man, somebody likes your work. Next thing you know, you're pulling in the big bucks. But anyway, this is a little, I like silhouettes. They're easy to do, you know, when you're a non-artist like me. You do stuff like this. I have the printout that I printed out years ago under here. I also have a large copy of it on various square, you know, pages. So this one here, what I did I will post it on here sometime. I have it on in my files on my computer, some pictures of it. It was pretty radical. A lot of abstract colors and a lot of lines and designs and splashes and drips all the way around it, through it. I think Elvis would have liked it. Elvis liked flames. He used to wear a leather jacket, had flames all over it. He was pretty out there. That's one thing I liked about the guy. I mean, you know, I love his singing and his voice. I mean, ever since I was a kid, you know, my parents, they were a fanatical, the epitome of Elvis fanatics. And I think they went and saw him in Houston in the 70s, in the early 70s. Elvis was always pretty radical with things. My dad always told a story that he had a chance to stripe one of Elvis's Cadillacs, but somehow, when he was in New York, somehow he missed the deal. I don't know, you know. Dad kind of had a way of telling a few things, and we never really knew if it was true or not. But anyway, it's just something I like to do. Another little bit of inspiration for you real artists. You don't have to do them. You know, the problem is people are just too serious about this stuff. You know, go on your computer, find you something you like to do. If you can't do it, print you out a copy, put it under this, like I did here. Just put it under there, trace it, then take your markers or your paint, do whatever you want to do with it. You know, as long as it has some sort of definition. I'm not really sure if this eye is like that. But yeah, I think it is. You know, like I said, this is just a silhouette. Silhouettes are pretty easy to do. I know they were very popular, I think 1700, somewhere around there in England. There were some artists down there doing silhouettes that, and I don't think they were getting $10,000 for one, but people made a living, kind of like I call silhouettes the poetry of art. I mean, about anybody can write poetry, but not that many people can do it with certain meaning. Well, silhouettes are that way. I mean, they're very basic. It would be like the, I don't know, the screwdriver of your tools. Everybody's got a screwdriver and everybody can use one. Anyway, so see, there's Elvis. There's young Elvis. And I think this is the way everybody liked to see him. So let's see, Elvis, he liked white, but let's see, what else? I think he liked blue. So let's do some blue around this thing. let's just kind of do my little, let's see here, let's pull it down there, let's see right there. Do my little blue around it. I'm going to kind of do a you know, that's what I've been saying all along here. If I need something to do here, just go do it, man. I'm not gonna go all the way around. You know, you don't have to be a natural born talented artist like my brothers. And those guys are good, but they're nuts. Well, I am too. I think we all are. But well, you just do the thing that you feel comfortable with. I don't like red. I'm gonna let you know that right now, but you know, people like red. You know, one thing about red is, like I said yesterday, these logo people and sign people, they're using lots of red on their, you know, in advertising. Put a little bit of blush up here, or OEP, and how about a little bit down here? Elvis wouldn't mind. So there we go, there's Elvis. There's my buddy. Sure wish I could have met the guy. I think he and I could have had a nice long conversation about life. I don't think he signed his name that ugly. So yeah, so here's what I did. Let me show you. Went online, found me a silhouette of Mr. Elvis, and I've kept this. I've kept this for about 10 years because I knew one day I may use it again. I was thinking about next time I get me a new vehicle, do my customization to it. Years ago, there was a pink 32 Ford Hot Rod. It was pink, and on the side, kind of like where the back wheel well is, someone had silhouette an Elvis similar to this, and I mean, I cannot find a picture of that car online anywhere. So if any of you hot rodders out there know of that car or have a picture of it, go to my YouTube or my Instagram and send me a picture. Okay, I got something here that I did many years ago, one of these crazy graphics. Oh, uh-oh, hold on guys. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Yeah, I know. All natural. Excuse me. This is what happens. I watch a lot of the car videos, and these guys do this kind of stuff. They're always screwing something up. So I'm going to do a little version of this graphic that I did 25, 30 years ago. I always liked this thing. Okay, I don't remember how I started it, though. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's how I started. Okay, and then I came in here and did some orange. And then I went some of this. Sometimes I have to copy my own self because, man, I'm going to tell you, it is hard to come up with ideas when you're getting older. I was watching a gentleman yesterday on YouTube, and he's a designer. He's done a lot of advertising design and marketing, which I love. I love reading about current and past. I'm really into the past, but the current stuff looks pretty cool too. That's what I was saying yesterday about the red when I did that little sign, little logo on here. I really like graphic design in advertising because, man, there are some very talented people out there come up with crazy ideas, and you know, it's all custom. You know, custom is something that's not mass manufactured. Yes, that they'll come up with like the logo I was doing yesterday. Yeah, I know they will hopefully use that and make zillions of marketing materials for their company, but that's just for them. It's not for everyone else. So it's unique for their company. It's not unique for everyone else. What the unique is for everyone is for them to notice the logo. And that's the whole point. Let's go ahead and do some green. I don't know any green. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do some yelly. Let's do some yeller. Make that one a short one. I don't do too many. But these are little things I used to sit around the house, especially in the wintertime, sit by the wood stove. I had a little artist drafting table behind our wood stove. And I sit back there and do this stuff in the wintertime. And, you know, I have days when I didn't have any work. I tried to teach myself how to draw cars, and man, I'll tell you, I just, you know, I think I could draw cars when I was a kid there, and I came out as an adult. There's a trick drawing vehicles. You have to know about perspective. I don't know, for some reason, I just couldn't do it. I don't know what it was. There's a block, there's some kind of block in my brain that prevented me from drawing cars. And I wanted to learn how to draw cars, and for some reason I just couldn't. So anyway, like I said, I just go online now and find the cars I want to customize and kind of do like a little, it's similar to a Photoshop. It's not Photoshop. But, you know, it's like old BR used to say, it's your world, do what you want to do. And that's the same thing with this. You know, what I'm doing here, you can take this design and just go make something else with it. You know, I'm just doing what I do, and in no particular fashion. Just a little something that has some visual impact on you and me. And once again, the key is the purpose of this, like I said before, is to, you know, inspire people to get out their hand, their old Sharpies, put it in your hand and go, man. Go. Enjoy it. Don't get all wrapped up in, I can't do it, I don't know what to do. Because I'll tell you, I wake up every day not knowing what to do. I pretty much, you know, have a life of randomness. I don't really have any plans. I'll write things down, but there's nothing that I write down that's very secure. Because, you know, I used to have hundreds of legal pads full of things that I wanted to do, and guess what happened to them? Threw them in the garbage. Threw them in the garbage and burned them. Because you know why? I figure in 30, 35 years, 40 years, I haven't done them, I'm never going to do them. So, that's what happened to all that. I'm trying to duplicate something here I did 30 some odd years ago when I knew what I was doing, and I still had a little bit of brains about me. That's the beauty of getting old. I can make excuses when I can't do something, I can't duplicate something, but that's okay. You know, you just do what you can. I don't get too wrapped up anymore. Life is, learn one thing about life, is too short, and all you old guys, you'll tell me the same thing. You'll agree with me. God dang it. When you finally kind of like, man, you know, I'd like to do that every day of my life. Well, you go, God, I don't have a lot of life yet. You know, I mean, I do, I hope. I mean, you know, being diabetic and all that stuff, I don't know. They're saying that, you know, people who are diabetics with this thing going around, you know what I'm talking about. They're like number 2 or 3 on the list of deaths. I mean, you know, they're not going to tell you that on the news. But I'm telling you right now, my sister is a caregiver. My niece, she's in the offices, administrative. And yes, there are people, you know, dying. But they're not saying, what they're not saying is a lot of these people have issues. You know, there's a young man that died around here. He was like 32 when then all this started. Well, oh my God, he was young. He was healthy. Well, come to find out, he was fairly obese. You know, never really. I mean, how many 32-year-olds have issues? But he was overweight. He didn't smoke, but he overate, and I learned this years ago from my mom, and I'm a supplement nut. I take my supplements, but a lot of these people are not taking their supplements. They're not eating right. They're not getting enough vitamin D. I mean, there's just too much information out there, and I'm an information hound, like I told you, when it comes especially to health, and cars, and art, and design. Man, there's a lot of people out there not getting vitamin D. That I was watching one of my doctors yesterday. He said, you know, we've got this, I think it's called a variant. And he said, look at the countries where it is. It's cold. They're not getting their vitamin D. They're not getting any zinc. But you know, I'm gonna say it. There's not a lot of money in that, but hey, all we want is we just want people to be okay and make it. You know, that's really what we want. Regardless of what the heck, you know, the causes, we just want people to be okay. Like I said, I'm no doctor, I don't know. We're just going to go with the flow, and, you know, I listen to what people say, and I just kind of make my own decisions after that. But yeah, it is a scary thing. I mean, my wife, I asked her how many were at the hospital. I think she said there were 22. There were like 35, and then I think the next day they sent 10 or 15 home. And that's what they've been doing. I mean, they have people in ICU, and but for the most part, they put them in there and check them out, send them home. Some of them stay overnight. But yeah, it's scary. It really is. And like I said, I'm diabetic, man. I'm going to tell you, sometimes I lay there and think about it. But, you know, I take my supplements. When the sun's out, like today, it's pretty cloudy and a little bit chilly. I'm below Central Texas, south of Austin. And I got to get my vitamin D. Because, you know, I know that's important. But I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling people what I do. Everybody's gonna do what they want to do. All I know is I just want all of this stuff to end so we can be back with our baby, our daughter, our granddaughter. That's the thing, man. I want to be with my granddaughter. I want her to drive me nuts, wear me out, taking care of her. That's all I care, man. I want to be with my granddaughter, and so my kids. You know, that's their niece. My daughter, man, she's just, I mean, she doesn't show it too much, but I know she's just like me. She's missing little Gemma. That was the name I did back there, Gemma. That's her name, Gemma Ann. She's going on 18 months. Yeah, boy, she's a character. I was watching her this morning. Daddy got her it's like a kitchen. So looks like a little 4-foot tall hutch with a sink and cabinets and a little fake stove and knobs, and it's got a blackboard on the other side, and got a little a little shelf below the sink with a curtain on it, like where you put your garbage. It looks just like a real countertop with a sink in it. Oh, she was showing me everything she was doing. It was just cute. You know, I want to be there. I want to be there watching that in person. And like my barber, you know, between him and his wife, I think she's got 10 or 12 grandkids. He's got like 10 or 12. And he said, man, I'm gonna tell you, he said, it's crazy. He said, you know, we want to see our grandkids. Now they do see some of them. He's like me. He's kind of, you know, leery of things. People tell him what's going on, but he's a bodybuilder. And he said he went to Florida to see her dad. He had Alzheimer's. He said, man, it's just weird at the airport. He said they make them stand 6 feet apart, and then when they get on the airplane, they're sitting elbow to elbow. I mean, I didn't even know that. I don't fly, so. But everything's going to be all right. It's going to take some time. Like everything else in life, everything takes time. Do some pyramids on here. They're not really pyramids, they're just triangles. You know, just random. You know, like I said, I live a random life. I don't really plan anything. It's kind of strange. That's kind of how I like it. I mean, you know, I know what I'm going to do the next day, and usually it's not much. But you know, it's not a hard thing to take life really serious. And you know, like where I come from, you know, growing up the way I did, and things that, you know, we did growing up, you know, you a lot of that carries over into your adult life, and you just take things just too darn serious. Well, I don't want to do that. I do not want to spend the rest of my life worrying about this, worrying about that. I just want to enjoy. I want to enjoy life. And one way to enjoy life is to not let anybody influence the ugliness. Man, there's just too goddamn much ugliness out there. Because what happens is there's a lot of good things in this world. You know, I talk to people every week. They're worried about it, but you know what? Everybody I talk to is living their life. Like when my buddy Tony, talking about that last week, we talked for a couple of hours. He just got out of having his gallbladder taken out a month after his heart attack. He goes, Mike, you know, I just have to keep living. He said, you know, and take one day at a time and just enjoy it. Him and his church, they feed the homeless in Austin. And he goes, you know, 3 days after having a heart attack, I'm out there helping people. Man, I mean, you can't ask for more than that. I mean, that's a good man right there. You know, it's not something that I do, unfortunately. But we just got to live our life. And if that involves doing this stuff right here, doing an Elvis silhouette, doing jumping jacks all day long, whatever it is you want to do, man. Ma'am, sir, just do it. You just do it, man. Okay, let's do this here. Let's get crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna get crazy. See how I do this? Yes, there are days when I'm fairly shaky, but in the long term, you just get your butt out there and do something. I mean, like I've said, you just have to do it no matter how horrible you are. All right, there we go. That's a nice little graphic. You know, you could actually take this, if you're a painter, you know, the little lines, you'd have to learn how to do that with a striping brush. Or you could take a paint pen. I've got some paint pens over here, and do it on a canvas. And you can make you a little 18 by 12 canvas, paint background black or white or whatever color, and do this, hang it on your wall. I mean, you don't have to be no crazy $100 million artist. It's mostly for you and your loved ones and your friends, and they'll come in, did you do that? Wow, man, would you do one for me? Yeah. How much? No, don't worry about it. I'm enjoying life. This helps my life. This is therapy. This inspires me to get up every day. And this is my case, so I'm doing this. Well, let's do one little thing here. I saw something here I need to do. My thing, like I said, in my case, I don't know, I just need to put some pink here. This looks good. Let's do this here. Now, when I was striping cars, I didn't do this too much. I got where I just, I knew what I was doing. I knew when I was done. If I picked up my brush up, people knew that when I put the brush down, I was done. But occasionally someone would say, hey man, can you, and I'd go, yeah, okay, I don't want to, but I'll do it anyway. They always say try to make customers happy. Well, when it comes to stuff like pinstriping, what have you, even though some of these are $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 cars, I pretty much did what I wanted to do. But anyway, here's your art piece for today, and I think we will end today there. So I'm going to try to do something Monday. I'm going to try to make Mondays my car day. I think I'm going to call it Motivation Monday, and just talk face to face. Maybe do a little drawing, and maybe some FaceTime. I don't really know. And do some car stuff. Talk about cars, because cars are my passion. I know I said I'm done here, but I'm really not. Cars are my passion, and with all this silly stuff going on right now about EVs, which to me EVs are fine. They want to do away with ICE, which are internal combustion engine vehicles. It's not going to be that easy. So I think this Monday, it'll probably be in the evening before I record this, or in the afternoon, and I'll put it up Monday night. I don't know if I'll do it tomorrow. I may do it tonight. But I want to talk about the electric vehicles and what's coming, because it is coming, but there's a lot of controversy about them saving the earth, which they're not, and what people's reactions have been to this new administration pushing electric vehicles. Okay, well, that's it. Later. Elvis is leaving the